Greetings, I'm Herbert Erpaderp, and today we're going to find out once and for all exactly what's in this box. There are some who say it's the 144th scale Star Wars AT-AT from Bandai, and all the evidence we see on this quite hefty box would suggest that is in fact the case. But can we really be sure? Yeah, probably. The sides of the box have some cool pictures, and you can see the ways in which the model can be posed. It's also very deep, not as in deep and meaningful, the box is just physically deep. I didn't have a banana for scale, only my hand.
The outside of the box is well and good, but you said we would see what's inside.
I did indeed say that. Turns out, it's not quite as full as I'd imagined. It's mostly the body that needs such a deep box. Not that that's a real complaint at all. Here's the main body and shell, and I guess you'd call it the head, or cockpit. I'm not an AT-AT surgeon, I have no idea what the technical terms are, but I do know good models when I see them. Anyone who's seen any of the Bandai Star Wars kits, and presumably all the Gundam and stuff they do, won't be surprised with how good these parts look. They're very well made. These Bandai kits are one of the few examples where you might believe that mold lines aren't a thing. They do have them if you look hard enough, though they are very minor, and it seems like they deliberately position them such that they would be hidden once the model is together anyway. I'd probably say something similar to that every time, because it is always true. This second sprue, the D sprue, so not technically the second, putting them in order is just too hard. Anyway, this is mostly legs and feet parts. A fun thing about Star Wars stuff is that on the original filming models, they used a lot of parts from regular kits, like tanks and whatnot. It's a lot of fun to try and spot those parts. I don't see any of them on the legs though. Maybe you can. There is a crew figure, two of them actually, because there are two of these sprues. A very, very tiny pair of crew figures. They could be rare ones that don't go in the bits box. We'll see. One kind of minor problem was that some of the parts had been knocked off this sprue. This was not rough handling on my part, they came this way in the box. There doesn't seem to be any damage, so it is more than likely fine. There's all sorts of detaily greeblies here. It looks good, and the parts that do get paint will probably be quite interesting to do when it comes to weathering. I don't know what this part is, but it looks to me like they've used a bogey from a tank, maybe the roof of a T-34-76 with the big single hatch, and part of an SDKFZ 222 hull, so that's fun. There are more hull parts here. Are they called hull parts? Whatever. The large chunks are obviously the inner portions of the body, so a lot of it probably won't be visible. I'm sure the parts that are visible will look fantastic, and the rest is more than likely going to be a good solid foundation. They do usually make these kits to be quite solid. I can't think of a whole lot to say about this sprue, not because it's bad, but I just don't feel like repeating the comments about how well made it is, and the lack of mold lines, and good detail and such. I guess I just did. Oh well. This sprue has a little bit more going on. I always enjoy it when they've got more than one colour of plastic on a sprue. I'm sure it's not some engineering marvel, it's just kind of neat. I also like that the red parts we see here allow you to easily represent weapons fire. There's also a whole bunch of other interesting greeblies and odds and ends all over these parts, and again, that should make for some fun and interesting painting and weathering times, assuming you choose to do so. This model is moulded in a colour that's close enough to what the AT-AT looks like, so you don't have to paint it. It will look better painted though. The kit comes with a base, which I assume is to represent a nice snowy piece of terrain. You could decorate it however you like though. They've also got little clips so you can link more than one base, either from multiple AT-AT kits, or other kits like the AT-ST, which I built about 100 years ago. For markings, there are two choices. Stickers, for those who choose not to paint the model, or water slide decals, for those who do choose to paint the model. This is the same as other Bandai Star Wars kits I've built, and I do like that they give you this choice. Here's the instructions. This is quite a nice booklet. It's in colour, and it's on nice paper. I've not studied them in depth or anything, but the diagrams seem pretty clear and well laid out, and there aren't too many things going on in any one step, which can help you not miss things. And by you, I mean me. Obviously at this point I haven't built the kit yet, so if there are any problems with the instructions, I don't know about them yet. This kind of thing will show up in the build video, which will, someday, be linked in the description. Anyway, they look like good instructions. There probably won't be too much confused Herbert. Probably. That's what's in the box. It's not at all surprising how good these parts look. Bandai really seem to care about their molding, and I appreciate that.
Wow, shocker! Appreciating good quality.
Weird, right? The kit should, like other Star Wars kits I've done, go together without glue. Though I will of course use glue because I praise the glue god. I'm not expecting any difficulties or issues in getting the parts to go together. The only thing I can think of that might cause fit issues is if I miss a nubbin from cutting the parts off the sprues, which is pretty unlikely. Something fun that just occurred to me is that this is 144th scale, which is close enough to N scale, being 148th means that this would fit quite well on my model railway. Now, some might say that an 8080 in 1930s to 50s Britain is a little bit unrealistic, but what would they know? I think this is going to be a fun build, and probably by the time you see this video, I'll have already started on it. As usual, I'll be streaming the build over on Twitch. This will be a Tuesday morning's build, my time obviously, so if you want to hang out while I build this live, drop on by my Twitch channel and give me a follow. There's a link in the description. As previously mentioned, there will be a build video on this channel at some point in the future, and if you're watching this from that point in time, or beyond, that video will be linked in the description. If you've got any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the comment section below. Subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of thing, share the video with anybody you think might find it helpful, and if you really like what I do, and you want to see videos a bit early, consider supporting on Patreon or Ko-fi, links are in the description. Take care of yourselves, be excellent to each other, and thanks for watching. Farewell.